The return of the white man. To entertainment at least, and specifically to Paramount. Soon to be Paramount Warner Brothers. Which is going to be quite the monstrous entity, but that's a topic for another day. The article headline here asks a very simple question. Why is Paramount hiring so many men with troubled pasts? Troubled pasts, you say? Are you telling me that these are previously extraordinarily successful individuals who may have allowed their hands to wander on occasion onto a secretary's buttocks? Or perhaps 2 or 3 secretaries' buttocks? Perhaps a whole conga line of them? Why, yes. Yes, indeed. As we've got a lineup here of people accused of sexual misconduct during Me Too. And, in case you've forgotten that particular apocalypse, there were a lot of people accused of a lot of things during that time. Very few of those accusations were actually acted upon or proven in the long term, but hey, what does it matter? The public media got its pound of flesh and everybody moved on, largely unaware of the corpses left behind. But Paramount now, despite being an absolutely enormous entity in control of a truly frightening quantity of pop culture, is also stuck with about $80 billion in debt, which isn't fantastic. So what Paramount needs is, a series of really good producers and directors and writers that cost next to nothing, because they are literal lepers in the field. Like, for example, Brett Ratner here. He was cancelled during Me Too for allegations of wandering hands, and he was the man behind Rush Hour, turning the idea of what if we made the silly buddy cop comedy movie even sillier into a billion-dollar franchise. Or Max Landis here, the man who wrote Bright, which, oh my god. Listen, if you haven't watched Bright, you must. It is an incredibly underrated movie, and it is so clearly trying to set up a massive universe. It is probably the single best take on modern fantasy I have ever seen. The plot is interesting, the twists and turns are fascinating, the characters are compelling, the world is super cool, and it so badly deserved to be continued upon. It was begging to be continued upon. It was going to be one of the big original franchises, I swear to Jeebus. But it came out at the wrong time. Oh boy, did it come out at the wrong time. And then the writer got accused of wandering hands. Or another one, John Lasseter, who was let go from leadership position after sexual misconduct complaints in 2017 and 2018. Oh, no big deal, just the guy who made the Cars franchise and worked on Toy Story. Casuals, definitely. Now, these people were not merely, fired either. That's important to point out. These people weren't, let go, given a silver watch and like, oh, Lasseter, we'll be so sad to see you go. No. These people were turned into pariahs. These people were reduced to scum and sludge, merely by the accusations themselves. Again, you cannot underestimate the amount of cultural power the left wing had at this point, and so these people are unhirable, completely and utterly unhirable. Worse than unhirable, radioactive. If you even got near them, there was every chance that their stink might rub up off of you. And so they were tossed out into the wilderness to wander, unwanted and unprotected, until a company with $80 billion in debt arrived and thought, we really need to start producing some stuff that people will actually purchase. We don't have any time to mess around with the LGBTQIA+ agenda anymore, which incidentally is why Paramount has also murdered the Star Trek, cancelled all of it. Nothing is in production, nothing is planned, is over, because they know they messed that one up. Paramount right now is in the position that Disney has kind of found itself in as well, and indeed for the same reasons. They need to start selling things again. And who do you turn to when you need to actually sell something? Well, one wonders One wonders, does one not? And the best part is, again, these people will work for chips, because it's the only job they're actually going to get. Now, obviously, even if you've managed to strike gold once, that is absolutely no guarantee you're going to be able to strike gold twice. Bright was a special movie in many ways, and if it was released today with better marketing, I'm not convinced it would work either, but it was obviously a setup to a much larger thing. It was the lost leader of what was probably going to be absolutely amazing. Furthermore, you're not really going to necessarily get all that far by just making Rush Hour now, but still, these are people with proven track records. They have created something in the past, and they've created gold in the past, and they're cheap. As this is the reason why I believe that Paramount, Warner Brothers, is the best out of two ill options. Netflix was going to suck for us and for everybody involved, as, well, at that point, when you've got a financially successful company, which Netflix is, primarily due to their various local language productions and the occasional good television series, they can really do whatever they want, as the occasional loss isn't going to affect them over much. And whilst Netflix has already years ago basically begun distancing themselves from the LGBTQIA+ agenda, they have never completely separated themselves, never quite severed the link completely, because they have remained financially solvent enough to not need to bother with the, more, shall we say, strident measures that Disney has found itself in need of appropriating now, or that Paramount Warner Brothers are going to need to do. So, we now have a company that actually needs to make money, in charge of a ton of genuinely brilliant IPs that are made for making money. And you can do it on a relatively small budget as well. Don't start making another Superman. Don't start making another Batman. Tease it. Begin building it up. Prepare it. But you've got to build the ground first. Instead of something idiotic like lanterns, hey, what if we take incredibly powerful galactic space cop with magical superpowered rings and put them in Middle America? Okay, we don't have a budget, so just pick another small level hero, or even the villain from the lineup, and then elevate them instead. You'll get infinitely more bang for your bucks, and if you're lucky, and you might with a lineup like this, as many of them have been known to create gold out of absolutely nothing in the past, you could end up with another massive franchise. You've already damaged the big guys. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. These have already been receiving absolute beatings for decades now. Aim lower and aim for something with a bit more certainty. Don't make Superman, Man of Steel. Make Smallville, make Arrow, make The Flash. That's what you want to be aiming for here. As these are shows that are often overlooked, but honestly shows that also did really well for a really, really long time. Even if they usually ended up becoming incredibly messy because the shows are like, what if we added in all of the other characters instead of focusing on our titular main character? Yeah, don't do that. At the very least not until way, way later, but still. This is something also that I've talked about in the past, right? When these companies inevitably realize that the progressive agenda doesn't earn them any money, as they have, there's no longer any doubt about that. With the video I produced previously today, which may probably be out at this point, Disney officially announced that they're done with the woke agenda. They don't care anymore. They're making movies, not therapy. They're over it. It's simply dead and done because it didn't earn them anything. Warner Bros. Paramount is going to be in the same position now, as are virtually all of the entertainment companies. Now that the ESG money has dried up completely, they've got to earn. To do that, they've got to start purging the people within their companies. Disney has already started, Warner Brothers already began just a little bit, Netflix started years ago, which is why they're in a far better position than all of their competition, and here's the biggest and most difficult thing, you've got to find talent. Most of this talent was already purged, either during Me Too or for various accusations of racism, sexism, homophobia, yada 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 yada, or simply having neutered themselves because they were afraid of the cultural zeitgeist. So many producers like the recent Batman animated show, for example, The Caped Crusader, which was created by the person who made the original animated Batman and was complete garbage because he's been completely conquered by the woke mind virus. All of the people who have managed to exist within Hollywood during progressivism did so either because they were willing to align themselves with progressivism to protect their jobs, or because they were always genuine believers, but once upon a time, politics wasn't the most important things in their minds. Regardless, they are tainted. But, as Warner Brother and Paramount is now going to test out, there is a theory that there's going to be a lot of talented, creative people out there in the wilderness who were kicked out not because they couldn't make money, but because they were accused of touching the incorrect pair of butt cheeks. And whilst that may be a serious accusation indeed, it is significantly less serious than an $80 billion bank loan. I don't know, guys. I think we might be back. I've been kind of optimistic now for the last year or so, but I actually think we're back. Feel free to yell at me in the comments if you disagree, but I think we're back. And on that, for once, cheerful note, I have been Arch. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.